What is going on, everyone? This is your 1/6 scale tribal chief, Mr. Mom Collectibles, back, and this is going to be a public service announcement, or maybe a little refresher, if you will. And what we're going to be talking about today is May the 4th. Now, it's closing in fast, less than 2 weeks away. And for a lot of collectors and enthusiasts in the hobby, May the 4th is special because, it's Star Wars Day. And so, a lot of companies are releasing stuff in celebration of, and Hot Toys no different. And so what I wanted to do was something a little bit different. I know other people are going to be talking about May the 4th, but I think it's important to kind of look back on previous years to get a better understanding and telling a story, because I think there is a story to be told here, and kind of if history is repeating itself. Now, last year with May the 4th, we got some announcements. And needless to say, collectors, some, not all, were rather disappointed, is a very nice way of saying it, in terms of the amount that Hot Toys gave us or didn't give us. Now, before we get started and looking at this recap, I want to show you some exclusive footage that you're not going to find anyplace else. This is basically some footage of collectors. And at the end of the day, when May the 4th kind of concluded and the reality set in, some feelings were hurt. And so I want to roll this tape of how collectors felt at the end of the day when May 4th was kind of done, and Hot Toys gave us what, they gave us. So we're going to roll the footage.
I can't do it! Why do you even want me? Why? I'm such a fuck up! I'm upset! Fucking everything! Why? Anger's the only thing they left me! Is this what you want from me? Is this what I am?
Well, there you have it. There is some, like I said, extraordinary footage. Needless to say, that's how, I remember last year, for just seeing how people reacted online. But I want to, like I said, recap the previous years. And we're going to jump over and we're going to start with 2019. Now, what I'm going to be doing is showing you not only what happened on May the 4th, but maybe the month or weeks subsequently leading up to kind of, like I said, get an idea. So for 2019, we got nothing. May the 4th was not treated anything special by Hot Toys. So we're just going to jump right into it. So in 2020, okay, I'm starting back from March, where I felt like there was some significance, and we're going to go up to it. So 2020, COVID year, March 30th, they released the Director Krennic from Rogue One. On April 23rd, they announced the Mando Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike, and the Scout Trooper separate, but they released those, announced, I should say. On April 29th, they released the Han Solo in Disguise and Han Solo from Solo. And on May the 3rd, we got the vintage color version of Boba Fett, 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back packaging, along with the Darth Vader in the same packaging, is what we got on May the 3rd. And so, like I said, if you look at what we just got on May the 3rd, a lot of people consider that to be lackluster, seeing as we just basically got a repaint Boba and a Vader. Really nothing special, but we did subsequently get other figures from Empire, Snowspeeder, Luke, things like that a little bit later, but still nothing crazy. And now moving on to 2021, which is a little more Mando focused. April 26th, they released that Scout Speeder and Trooper, from the previous year, the Speeder Bike and Scout. And then on April 30th, they released Kylo Ren. On May the 3rd is when they announced some stuff. So they did kind of a double drop. So on May the 3rd, they announced the Grogu figure with accessories. Then you had a Stormtrooper Commander from Mando, and then you had Echo from the Bad Batch. Now that's what was announced on May 3rd, which led us into May 4th, which the main piece was the Mandalorian and Blurg, or the Blurg separate, as like kind of like the main piece in 2021. Now, moving on to 2022, April 27th, they released the Transport Trooper. And on April 30th is when they kind of started dropping some teases there of Attack of the Clones Episode 2, things to look forward to. And where have the R2D2 and the C3PO? That was just a tease, nothing actually announced. May the 3rd, they've released the Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars. And that version is still, I think it's still up on Sideshow. And then finally on May the 4th, long awaited, it was pretty much, Attack of the Clones. So you had that C3PO from episode 2, along with that R2D2, and you had a Geonosis battle droid, a clone trooper, and clone pilot, all announced on May the 4th. So you had 3 droids and 2 clones for May the 4th. Now that's bringing us into last year. Now, last year tells a very interesting story, probably, I think, very interesting compared to previous years. On April 6th was arguably one of the bigger announcements when it came to Star Wars for Hot Toys, I should say. And that is where we got the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary Darth Vader and C3PO double announcement. And this was I think it was big. The Darth Vader personally was the biggest announcement for me last year. Highly anticipated figure for this year to come out, and the C3PO. And, we just don't get a lot of 3POs. It's only the second one, I think. And then there was the Attack of the Clones one previous to that. But I know a lot of collectors out there were like, if they are announcing these 2 bangers in April, we got to get some crazy stuff for May the 4th, right? I mean, if they're getting 2 major characters out of the way, what are we gonna get May the 4th, right? Which is fair. It's a fair assessment. So we move forward to April 19th. They released that Attack of the Clones R2D2. And on April 28th was a odd but easy cash grab announcement, which was the Scout Trooper Commander from the Star Wars game Jedi Survivor. And that is the only thing we've gotten from that game since, but it's an easy cash grab, as you can, it kind of speaks for itself. Now, on May 3rd, we had a tease and an announcement, but not from Star Wars. It was Marvel. And once again, I remember the feedback was, we're going to let Marvel fans have a little taste because May the 4th is Star Wars Day. So we actually got teased the Guardians of the Galaxy and announced, I think within a few hours, Groot from Volume 3, the regular and the deluxe, which led us into May the 4th. Now, if you remember, on May the 3rd, one of the figures was actually teased, meaning there was some leaked photos, which ended up being Commander Fox. I remember he was actually leaked out like the night before. So that was kind of expected. So we got Commander Fox, and then we also got Darth Sidious, both from the Clone Wars, show. And then they actually also released the Geonosis battle droid that was announced the previous year. Now, this was an interesting one because we got these announcements pretty early in the morning, and a lot of collectors throughout the day. I remember watching streams, being on social media about that, expecting, all right, we're going to get more. And time went and we got nothing. And then, all hell broke loose. I feel like everyone kind of, were just pissed off, shitting on Hot Toys. A lot of people were happy with it, and to be honest with you, if you look at this timeline here from April to May, that's a lot of good stuff. I mean, minus the Guardians things, but you got Vader, and it does leave you to wonder, like, if they would have taken Vader 3PO and packaged them in with the other May the 4th, I mean, that would have been a pretty successful announcement, but this is, I'm just, like I said, this is just history showing that, once again, Hot Toys really, in my opinion, not that they don't care about dates, but they're going to release and announce stuff at their own agenda. They have a lot of figures they're working on, a lot of things like that. So as you can see here, like I said, if you couple like 2020, like these are actually, if you couple all this together, this is actually some good stuff, a Krennic, the speeder bike, the Han Solo, but obviously this May the 3rd, May the 4th significance, in my opinion, it's not as it's not as amazing as what it's maybe projected to be or expected to be from some collectors. And so, like I said, this is just meant to be an education of remembering what were the previous years. Now, that being said, I told you there's a story to tell, right? Look at this story. This is current. I won't lie to you. If you're watching this video right now, this is the third time I have filmed this video. This video was supposed to be announced, released two separate times on my channel, and I deleted the video because they kept adding stuff. Um, as I'm recording this, this is the third time. I recorded an initial one, and then they updated us on the 22nd, and now we're updating us on the 23rd. So let's tell the story of what's going on here. So April 2nd is the Dark Side tease. Now, before this, a couple days before, they showed a video with the characters blacked out, but April 2nd was the official tease showing this Dark Side event, right? On April 5th, they announced the Anakin Skywalker from the Ahsoka show, the Clone Wars version. But then they teased also a photo of the droids, showing us like, other droids and getting us they were just dropping teases. And then on April 19th, 20th, and 21st, we got back to back to back drops of teases. These were just teases. It started with like I said, you see the lineup of the four, the Sith there, Dooku, Vader, Maul, and Kylo. And then underneath you have the Inquisitors, and then they had the Emperor. And a lot of people were thinking, like, are we going to get new figures? But you got to remember, those teasers were about joining the dark side. So as if they were welcoming in new characters, new figures. What did we get? On April 22nd, we got the Darth Revan announcement. We also got the Lord Starkiller announcement, and then we also got the BT1 announcement. So three major. These are arguably could have been May 4th announcements, and people would have flipped out over them. So you got those three announcements, and then literally today in the morning, April 23rd, at the time of recording this video, we got three more announcements. You got the Commander Cody in the special edition Chrome. You also got the 000 droid in and that was another amazing one. And both of those figures went up for pre-order as exclusives. So the Q system, if you guys know that, you already possibly have these figures. And the other thing is the turnaround time are within like a couple months. Like these are not things that are coming out within a year. And then underneath that, you have the Stormtrooper, which is pretty much a reissue of the Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper with the Death Star base. Now that one, believe it or not, I'm actually really excited for, because it's my first shot at original troopers. Same thing. That one, those payment plans start immediately, because these are not figures that you're going to be waiting a year for. But like, look at this timeline right here of some amazing stuff, which leads me to May the 4th. What could be happening now? May the 4th is actually technically on a Saturday or Sunday. So realistically, if we're going to get anything, it's going to be on that Friday and or that Monday. But like I said, this is just telling a story that could we still get some drops between now and then? 100%. It's almost like every night we're just getting something for this dark side event. So they're just continuing dropping after dropping. Now I'm going to admit, I'm not going to film this video anymore. So I'm not doing it a fourth time, but I just wanted to try to pack as much in as I could. And so once again, this is just, it's an education, a history, if you will, going back on the years. And arguably, if you look at like from April to May, this is probably one of the best Star Wars times that we've had, like I said, between the last 4 years. If you look at all that stuff, especially 19 was a banger year, wasn't it? Yeah. All of our wallets were saved. But like I said, what to expect on May the 4th? My expectation is nothing. Just take it for what it is. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people can hype stuff up. If you're going to be watching streams, people talking about it, even not intentionally, it could get you hyped up, right? Because they're going to be talking about these figures. So it's going to get you amped up. And like that same notion of like, well, if they're dropping this now, May the 4th, what could we get? You could get one figure for May the 4th. That is what it is. You have to look at the overall picture that you got some amazing stuff here. And if they end up dropping stuff that you don't want or you're not interested in, that's not a bad thing, because your wallet is safe for the next thing. And that's the other thing you have to realize is, like, once again, I firmly believe that Hot Toys isn't as invested in dates as collectors are. Okay. Look at Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. We were, a lot of people were upset we didn't get a lot of stuff. Look what we got. The coveted Han Solo that everyone wanted. Episode 2, we wanted stuff end of the year. What did we get? Mace Windu. We got Anakin. We got Padme. It didn't follow in, and it made, it's just, there's different, the Hot Toys just doesn't really, they have too much on their plate to really worry about time frames. So I don't look at it as a specific nail down because even if I wanted to do a video follow up, if you look at stuff every year that was released after May the 4th, even literally a week to 2 weeks later, you got bangers. So just because May the 4th, you might get one or two figures, it doesn't mean you're going to get a banger the following week. So once again, take it for what it is, enjoy it. Have, timid expectations, but enjoy it. Like I said, May the 4th be with you all. Enjoy the day. Let's see what Hot Toys gives us. If they give us anything crazy, that's awesome. They could give us just one banger, and that's awesome. Or they can give us a couple of just basic things, or they can give us nothing and say, "Hey, listen, we tease you all. Star Wars fans have been eating good for the last 2 weeks, so it is what it is." So like I said, I just don't. Last year was an interesting one because of people's dissatisfaction with what came out. So that's why I want to make this video and kind of backtrack the events leading up to May the 4th. And like I said, if history repeats itself, I mean, it looks like we're on track. And what I mean by that is we're getting bangers leading up to, and May the 4th, you might just get some basic stuff, but you can't just isolate it to one day. You have to look at the overall events that led up to it and enjoy it. So if you're a Star Wars fan, I think you're eating very well. If you've pre-ordered a lot of the stuff, congratulations. If you passed on any of this stuff, then you just save money for the next announcement or the next release, whatever it is. You can't buy everything, so you have to pick and choose your battles. But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Is there anything that stood out to you, kind of recapping all these events? Anything that was interesting to you, what your expectations are, if you have any for May the 4th. But let me know. I want to engage with you guys in the comments below. Drop a comment on this video. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel if it's in fact your first time and you enjoy the content. But until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.